This game comes from a studio that surprised the world and redefined the RPG genre with its iconic characters and rich storytelling. And I want to thank them for this trailer for one of gaming's most anticipated upcoming releases.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
We're true.
We're still here at the scene of this terrible disaster, caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2.
Yes.
Amidst the wreckage of the expressway, search and rescue operations are already in progress.
Final Fantasy VII Remake 2. Let's go. Okay. I have goosebumps, dude. Ooh, okay. I'm so happy.
Just look at it all. It's so great.
I'm so happy, dude.
Even after everything we've done to it, it's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
I can't wait to play as Red too. Yeah, Red 13 is going to be so sick. Oh my god!
5 years. Where's he been? And you're asking me this? This is gonna sound...
Chocobo Ranch.
As far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
Let's go, dude. Cosmo Canyon. It's Bugenhagen. Ah! Dude, Bugenhagen looks so sick. Dude, oh, Mount Nebel.
Shadows of the Man.
We're getting it all.
Sephiroth was in Midgard. We fought him.
Yes, he's doing the story.
But why come back now? After 5 years, doing who knows what?
Oh, this is good. This is good.
Well now, think we woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
Dude, just Red 13 and Barrett.
Feast your eyes on the Turk's lake.
Ah, Elena. Let's go, dude.
But she's still a jerk.
Yeah, dude, we got Elena. Oh my god. This is so hype, dude. God, it looks gorgeous. Look how good it looks. Oh, Junon Harbor. My god. This is my grand finale. Playable Yuffie with the squad.
Get her away from me!
They say she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths.
Oh, dude, let's go.
Those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
Genova.
You murdered my dad! You burned my village!
Yes, they're doing the flashback. They're doing the flashback sequence.
So,
Oh, they're doing it, man. Oh, I'm so excited. Early 2024 on 2 discs, man. Let's go. The game is huge. The game is huge.
Early 2024.
2024.
PlayStation 5. Nomura-san, thank you so much.
Oh, dude, let's fucking go. Final Fantasy 16 this year. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth next year.
Game Fest. Stay tuned this weekend for
Oh, man. 2 discs. That is insane.
Media here in Los Angeles, including Cyberpunk 2077.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth discussion, analysis, everything. I'm so happy right now. I'm fresh out of the Summer Games Fest live stream after 4.5 hours almost, and this is my baby. This is the highlight. This is what we're here for. That was my live stream reaction to the trailer, and now we are gonna go through it, because there is a lot of story stuff. It's like, it wasn't even a teaser. They were like, here's gameplay, here's story, here's some big meaty Rebirth content. And I'm so happy. I cannot express, and I will try my best to, but I cannot express how important this is to me. I've played Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy VII mainly for my whole entire life. It's my favorite game of all time, and I adore the remake. The remake takes things in a different direction, and that was something to adjust to initially, especially with the ending of that first remake. But I have been highly and hotly anticipating Rebirth, and the reveal that it is coming out early next year is crazy. It feels like we're back in the late 90s era of Squaresoft, where there was Final Fantasy games coming out like yearly, with other games coming out all around it that were also like very highly regarded. And I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. So we're going to look at this trailer that shows a lot of stuff. It's a 3.5 minute trailer, which is crazy. Early 2024, 2 discs. I don't know if that's going to be same with like the remake where it was like, here's a data disc and a playable disc, or whether it's going to be like the game is so massive that here's everything on 2 discs, which is just great. I love that we are able to recapture the 90s of PlayStation 1 on multiple discs because the game's so big. And we're in a different era now where it's the game's so big that the remake has to span multiple parts in order to have everything included. And then it has multiple discs. It's great. It does it justice, because if Final Fantasy VII Remake was one game, so much would have to be sacrificed and changed. So let's react once again to the Rebirth trailer, and then let's analyze it and pick it apart and see what we can find, because it shows us so much from the open world segment of Final Fantasy VII once you leave Midgar. Let's have a look.
We're still here at the scene of this terrible disaster, caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreck...
So this is 1000% the second timeline that has been established in Rebirth and the intermission DLC, because where was the tornado in sectors 0, 1, and 2 in Remake? It didn't exist. And these fellas, our lovely Avalanche, did not get hospitalized at all. They left Midgar, and we've seen them hitching a ride to go straight to Calm at the end of the intermission DLC. So this is like crazy that right at the beginning, how this trailer even begins is that there has been a disaster that has struck Midgar, and our Avalanche crew are suffering because of it. I think something that I'm really going to enjoy, and something that is really crazy, is we have established that due to the shenanigans from Remake with the plot ghosts, Zack is alive in a different timeline, and we've seen that play out very briefly in short ways. Like the intermission DLC has him showing up to Aerith's church, and that's the little snippet that we've gotten. But it's crazy to see the effects. We're going to have like some weird butterfly effects, time changing, like effects on the future because of it. Zack surviving is going to cause disaster in the timeline. Like it's like this fixed event that was supposed to happen that's now been changed because the plot ghosts are dead, and now the journey is unknown because they're not forcing you into that same timeline with the weird plot ghost remake meta commentary of the remake has to be exactly the same as the original, and now that the ghosts are dead it can go in any direction. And this is what we're witnessing. The any direction part of it is people don't die when they died before, and now we have multiple timelines. And I love how the focus on Final Fantasy VII Remake has become not just a remake of the original game, but it is remaking Final Fantasy VII entirely, in this sense that it is a sequel to the compilation of 7 while going through the events of the original. And I think I love it, you know, and I think it's fantastic as a way to add something new to the story of Final Fantasy VII, because I think they're handling it well. It's a really delicate subject matter because Final Fantasy VII is near and dear to my heart. And as much as I would love a one-to-one story remake of the game, I think this is a great opportunity for them to do something good. I just hope that they stick the landing with it instead of them getting too crazy and too Kingdom Hearts-like, because that was my one issue that I took with the ending of Remake, is I was in the final boss fight and going, I feel like I'm in a Kingdom Hearts final boss sequence, and it was crazy and very overwhelming, and we've had a lot of time since then to really process those things. It's been 3 years now. We've had a lot of time to process, but it's crazy to see what this is even starting with. Midgar is in ruin. Our beloved characters are already suffering because Zack is alive. It's insane.
This terrible disaster.
Terrible disaster. A tornado.
0, 1, and 2. Amidst the wreckage of the expressway.
A massive tornado.
Operations are already in progress.
And it's not showing Cloud. It's not showing Cloud in that group, which is weird. But it's showing the rest of the gang instead.
Just look at it all. It's so green. Even after everything we've done to it,
I'm trying to figure out what this place is. I'm trying to figure out what this location is and where we're at. I'm trying to place it on the map because I'm like, this definitely isn't Fort Condor, because it would be a whole other different thing. But it looks like for me, when they're coming out of that door, I'm like wondering if they're coming out of the Mithril mines or something.
everything we've done to
But I
it,
cannot
it's still going
determine.
strong.
It may look that way.
I cannot determine this location. I'm trying to like think about the map. It might even just be brand new stuff.
But in reality, it's barely hanging on.
This game looks gorgeous. Like, this game looks pretty, and it's so cool to see this game outside of Midgar, where it's all doom and gloom and the metal sky, and now we get to actually see the world to explore it, and I love it. We're opening up.
I was wondering,
It's so exciting.
what's Cloud been doing these past 5 years?
And then we're in story stuff.
And you're asking me this?
Where's Cloud been in the last 5
This is
years?
gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know, Cloud was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
This is so good that they're getting into this with their going, hey, there's discrepancies in Cloud's story, and his mercenary past is like, he's just rocked up here, but I'm like, he's talking about Nibelheim like he was there and he was the hero. What is going on there? Because I was there and I don't remember any of that. And what's cool is this stuff kind of came up. I just realized I've got my headphones on the wrong way. Too excited. What's crazy about that is we're getting stuff that was kind of being alluded to or discussed much, much later in the original game, and they're making you question it now in this trailer. It's wild. They're like, he wasn't there.
Life's dream. It is the very essence of our star.
I love Bugenhagen so much in Cosmo Canyon and in the original FF7, and he looks perfect, and Cosmo Canyon looks perfect.
Blood coursing through its planetary veins.
Look at him. I always thought in the original he was always like, he had an orb for a lower body. I think he just floats, he sits on a big orb and it floats him. God, it's such a great design.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them.
Shadows of the Man, referring to all of the experiments that have the tattooed numbers on their arms. I think I want to say that this is Coral when they get chucked down after the gold saucer. I think we're going to get a lot, because obviously if we've got Nibelheim and we've got Cosmo Canyon and stuff like that, I think this game is going to go quite far in terms of this content. The great news is that if we've got Cosmo Canyon, it addresses all of the stuff that we're definitely getting before that, which is great, like going to Gongaga. We've got the Gold Saucer stuff, which is going to be mind-blowing. Costa del Sol, just the event of like taking the boat over as well and infiltrating that is going to be super exciting. Junon Harbor. Like, there's just so many set pieces that are all flowing to me that are so exciting.
According to Hojo, they're
Mount Nibelheim. I can't believe that they're throwing the very important story stuff at us right now. Oh god, there's objectives that are 1.5 kilometers away.
Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now?
And they're in calm telling the story right now, the flashback.
Who knows what?
This is how I think that the game is going to start. I think it's so appropriate because with the intermission DLC, it ends with them hitching the ride to Calm. If it just started with the Nibelheim flashback, it would be such a good like launching point. They're like, we'll just go here and address all of the Sephiroth question stuff. Who the hell is this guy? And then we start seeing like the plot holes or the inconsistencies in Cloud's story. And Tifa's like, what the hell's going on here? I think that's a perfect start. Perfect start. And this is like Northern Crater reunion stuff. And it looks like that we might even end up there in this part 2, which is huge.
Feast your eyes on the Turks' latest and greatest, Elena.
She may be new.
I love them dropping in Elena. She's great. There's some subtle changes. There's some subtle changes. We've got like there's boxes down the bottom here. I don't know what these are for, but I've seen them lit up as well. So I wonder what they're changing. Because sometimes it looks like it's charged up or something. And look at Junon. God damn, I need like an 8K trailer. I need every pixel like inserted into my eyes because this quality is terrible. But there's Junon Harbor and there's the High Wind, by the way. There's the High Wind. Are they actually going to be able to like give us that original Final Fantasy VII promo wallpaper of like Aerith looking up at the goddamn High Wind? The city looks crazy good. And Red 13 in combat. Actual Red 13 in combat. And look at this. We're seeing like the companion like battle moves and the synergy, like how Yuffie and Sonon and the intermission DLC were like fighting with each other. Companion attacks and the synergy is going to be crazy.
That she can peer inside you.
And we've got Sephiroth talking about Genova. I reckon this is taking place. I reckon that this is taking place on the ship when they're riding on the boat. I reckon. I love Yuffie being involved in the party. It's so exciting. I wonder if they're going to have the same Genova names. Genova Rebirth and everything.
Away from me!
It's fitting for the name of the game.
She's a monster. That she can peer inside you.
Oh, it's so good. I can't wait to fight Genova some more.
Those you hate.
And different cool looking designs as well.
Those you love.
Free. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they're doing Cloud underneath here being one of the pawns. That's great.
You murdered my dad. You burned my village.
Again, more of the Nibelheim flashback events, which is crazy to see.
So, who is she?
Whoa, that line is really important. You know I killed her, so who is she? While talking about the fact that he literally sliced Tifa, like, basically in half when this scene takes place. This is crazy as well, as I didn't expect them to show it in this way. I'm like, you see in the blood splatters and everything, which is wild. I always look at this scene and think it's kind of funny because I'm like, Sephiroth with that sword would have sliced Tifa in half. He is trying. This is great. This is really good stuff. He is talking about Genova has the ability to take the form of those you hate and of those you love. And then he's also saying, by the way, I killed Tifa. Who is she? He's trying to plant that seed of doubt and fuck with Cloud and mess with his mental state even more, being like, hey, Tifa might be like Genova, messing with you, because she takes on the form of those you love too. And I killed her. Who is she? And that is grade A level Sephiroth mindfuckery. What I think that I love about the ability of the Rebirth and how they're not constraining themselves to be one-to-one story remake is it allows for stuff like this, where we get a different type of Sephiroth haunting Cloud and messing with him and muddling up his brain, his sequence of events of what the hell is going on here. And it's brilliant. I think they are taking an opportunity to take the original Final Fantasy VII experience and attempt to elevate it to a different level, and I am really hoping that they stick the landing. Like I said, I really hope that they actually do a great job here. That dialogue in sequence makes me very happy and very hopeful that they are going to just give us a really unexpected, proper unexpected, really weird journey through Final Fantasy VII. Because what if he's telling the truth? What if they are changing the story with Tifa? What if the event with Aerith doesn't take place? What if it does happen, but not in the way that we expect, or everything's out of a weird order? And then we also have this other timeline with Zack to worry about. This is insane. The possibilities here are so exciting. And another thing that really makes me happy about this as well is if the remake was one-to-one, we would just be like finishing the game, part one, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the one-to-one story to play out in the next part. What's really cool about how Remake has played out is it's kept a constant discussion going on about what's going to happen in this game. Like, because anything can happen now. We got rid of the plot ghosts. There's so much more buzz about it. They can talk about the story. It's like generates that crazy sort of discussion that would have been going on internet stuff with Final Fantasy VII coming out and people talking about the events that take place and being like, dude, this is absolutely insane. And like, that's why it's one of the best and most popular and a lot of people's most favorite Final Fantasy is the game is crazy and it really escalates in such an insane way. And I'm so excited that the remake is taking that opportunity to do it again in the modern day of having people being like, what's going to happen? This is crazy. And it's not crazy in a bad way. It's like crazy in like a really exciting way. Seeing this trailer, 3.5 minutes, blows me away. It's showing the alternate timeline. It's showing the beautiful open world. It's showing playable characters like Red 13. It's showing iconic like locations. It's going into the big, important story stuff, the character stuff with Cloud and his messed up narrative that has Tifa questioning things. It's got goddamn Bugenhagen and Cosmo Canyon looking gorgeous, talking about the live stream. And oh my God, I think that we are going to have a massive game on our hands with Rebirth because it is they're not going to just put 2 discs for no reason. I don't think it's going to be a data disc and a play disc like how we've had with some games being 2 discs. I think this game is going to be please insert disc 2 type shit, where this game could potentially take us to a particular event in the original OG7. I'm avoiding certain spoilery things on purpose, like certain events, because there are a lot of people who haven't played the OG7, and I'm trying my best to be respectful of you people that haven't played the original 7. Do it. It's worth it, especially with the fact that this game is going to be different to the original. You should definitely play the original. It still holds up. It's a beautiful game and a beautiful story, and I'm in love with it. Play it, please. But for the sake of people that haven't played it yet, I think there will be a particular significant events towards the end of Disc 2 in the original PS1 release that we could potentially get so much of the big open world and all the events done in this game. We could have all of the companions from the original game in this game, and then the third game in the trilogy, whatever they decide to call it, remake, rebirth, revelation, or some crap. We'll see what happens. I'm really excited to see what the third title is going to be, but that game, that third one, can really just focus on moving into that end game where there's a certain massive object of meteoric proportions looming in the sky and it's all doom and gloom, and that can be the third game. Like, what's really exciting is I'm going to give the original trilogy Star Wars example with Empire Strikes Back. Is this game has the potential to be the Empire Strikes Back of a Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, where it's not going to end on a positive note. It's not going to end in a happy place, everybody wins. This is the middle section of the story where all the characters go through their changes and everything is tragic, and they are challenged in ways that we have never seen them be challenged yet in this story. This is going to be the most important chapter of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. As crazy as the end game of OG7 is, this is the biggest part of the remake. This is where all of the characters grow, and this is where it's all going to go and get set up for the final game, which is going to be that epic conclusion to a remake trilogy, which makes me so happy that they've expanded it to 3 games. It seems so poetic. They're not skipping or cutting out content. They're adding and elevating the content while keeping us on our toes of what the hell's going to happen. And it's so exciting. I have never loved a video game more in my life than Final Fantasy VII. And I think that that comes across in every video I've done talking about Final Fantasy VII. I've done my remake playthrough. I've played the Crisis Core reunion. I've done a literal love letter to Final Fantasy VII video in that playlist for Final Fantasy VII Remake as well, talking about my experience growing up with this game. I adore Final Fantasy as a series, but Final Fantasy VII is like my lifeblood, and I will passionately ramble on it for my entire life. I'll be crazy in a retirement home in my rocking chair going, Sephiroth, and I'll be insane. But it's for a good cause. Play the original Final Fantasy VII. That is my humble request of you before Rebirth comes out. Trust me, you are going to want to. And I'm going to replay it myself before Rebirth comes out. I might even replay the remake before Rebirth comes out, because that is also going to be tremendously worth doing. Thank you so much for tuning into my discussion about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the trailer reactions, pulling it apart, having a look at the details. There's so much to glean from this in terms of characters and locations and story, and I'm so excited for every single part of it. It's going to be so special, and I'm going to be playing it as soon as it comes out and obviously dropping it on the channel. But for now, thank you so much for joining. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.